What's going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to Battlefield 1 Week, which is pretty much the only big thing coming out, but there are a couple of other things worth mentioning. You've got the Batman collection, you've got Lego Harry Potter collection coming to the PlayStation 4 as a PS4 exclusive for the time being. I don't understand that one. A couple of other things here and there, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So let's go ahead and get the biggest release out of the way for the week, which of course is Lego Harry Potter Collection coming to the PlayStation 4. The Lego Harry Potter Collection brings Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 4 and years 5 through 7 to the PlayStation 4 computer entertainment system for the first time, with both top-selling video games remastered on one disc. This compilation unites the creative prowess of Lego and the expansive world of Harry Potter with an exciting journey full of spellcasting, potion making, puzzle solving, lessons, dueling, and much more for players of all ages to enjoy. That was a very poorly written and constructed sentence. Gamers can experience the entire Lego Harry Potter adventure featuring content from 7 books and 8 films with enhanced graphics, environments, lighting, and visual effects, along with 2 downloadable content packs. Sure to delight fans of J.K. Rowling's ever-expanding wizarding world, the Lego Harry Potter collection serves as a perfect gift for those eagerly anticipating the upcoming film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, a prequel to the Harry Potter film series. So a couple of things about this one. Why is it a PlayStation 4 exclusive? Why didn't you put this on the Xbox One, the PC, just to make money? Maybe there's some kind of agreement there. Number 2, how many lighting and graphic improvements can you possibly have for a Lego game? I mean, it's literally a plastic minifig game. You don't have to, Call of Duty, okay, I can understand that. Batman, great. Elder Scrolls, hell yeah. Lego? Really? Lego? So as the description actually said, there are these new movies coming out, The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is pretty much a prequel to the Harry Potter series, and there are supposedly going to be 5 films. That is 5 on top of the 8 films that already exist. You do the math there, that's a lot of Harry Potter. So instead of making a Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them game, or perhaps since they haven't made the Lego sets yet, I don't know, maybe they have, they're going ahead and remastering these games on the PlayStation 4, which I suppose is fine. Again, I don't really need it. I don't think anyone else wanted it, but there is probably that one guy that's out there like, I really wanted my Lego games on my PS4, you know, whatever. It's coming out on the PS4 this week. For those of you that have never experienced, or for those that maybe want to experience Lego Harry Potter on the new generation of consoles with some enhanced lighting. So next up, we've got Civilization 6 coming to the PC. Sid Meier's Civilization 6 is the next entry in the award-winning Civilization franchise, which has sold over 35 million units worldwide, including more than 8 million units of Civilization 5, which is on sale pretty frequently if you want to pick that one up and give it a shot before you put the money down on Civ 6. Originally created by legendary game designer Sid Meier, Civilization is a turn-based strategy game in which you attempt to build an empire to stand the test of time, become ruler of the world by establishing and leading a civilization from the Stone Age to the Information Age, wage war, conduct diplomacy, advance your culture, and go head-to-head with history's greatest leaders as you attempt to build the greatest civilization the world has ever known. Civilization 6 offers new ways to engage with your world. Cities now physically expand across the map, active research in technology and culture unlocks new potential, and competing leaders will pursue their own agendas based on their own historical traits as you race for one of 5 ways to achieve victory in the game. So now when it comes to Civilization 6 or Civ games in general, I literally know about nothing, aside from the fact that it was created by Sid Meier and it's very, very popular for a lot of people. That being said, the other thing I know is that it takes a long time to play a regular game of Civ. I'm talking if you want to go hardcore and, develop your strategy and build your city and let it grow and prosper throughout the ages, you're looking 5 to 8 hours maybe if you're playing a multiplayer match. Now, I'm sure there are some matches that are a little bit less than that. You can probably get a standard game in, but it's not your Call of Duty where you sit down and you play a couple of rounds and you get, your little quick fix. This is something you put time into, so take that into consideration. And I would also recommend checking out Civ 5 before you buy Civ 6, like I said, because you can usually get that game for right around $7.50 in a good sale, so keep your eye out for that. But if you are a huge fan of Civilization, Civ 6 is definitely the next generation. I've seen some gameplay, looks great. Give it a look if you are interested. Next up, we've got Batman Return to Arkham. Return to Arkham and experience two of the most critically acclaimed titles of the last generation, Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, with fully remastered and updated visuals. Batman Return to Arkham includes the comprehensive versions of both games and includes all previously released additional content. Arkham Asylum exposes players to dark and atmospheric adventure that takes them into the depths of Arkham Asylum, Gotham City's high-security psychiatric hospital for the criminally insane. Use Batman's legendary gadgetry, strike from the shadows, and confront the Joker and Gotham City's most notorious supervillains. Batman Arkham City sends players soaring into Arkham City. Wow, really? A heavily fortified, sprawling district in the heart of Gotham City. Batman Arkham City introduces a brand new story that draws together an all-star cast of classic characters and murderous villains from the Batman universe. Now, this game was supposed to launch in late July, but Virtuos Games, the people doing the port, supposedly needed more time. In other words, they didn't want to release a broken game. Now, is this going to be a repeat of Arkham Knight, and the Batman game is definitely going to be broken? We still don't really know. There aren't any review copies at the time of making this video that I'm aware of. We don't know how the game is shaping up, but hopefully, with this extra time, they were able to actually make a game that, you know, works. So I will say I've played Arkham Asylum, I have played Arkham City, and I have played Arkham Knight. Now, those first two I played on the PlayStation 3, and then the Xbox 360. Yeah, that's how it went. And then I played Arkham Knight on my PlayStation 4, so that's pretty much my history with the franchise. Haven't played the Blackgate games, still need to get around to that. But the reason I love this franchise, and I am so passionate about people actually playing this franchise, is the combat. Because the combat is so silky smooth, and it's so simple, yet it can be so complex if you actually get to know the combat and how it works. You pretty much got your light attack, you've got your heavy, you've got your stun, you've got your dodge, and then of course you've got all of the different gadgets that Batman has on top of a counter attack for whenever someone comes in to attack you. Now, through different combinations of those kind of elements, and then through pretty much switching from enemy to enemy as timing sees appropriate, it makes you feel just like Batman. Like, I couldn't imagine a game getting more close or any closer to the actual Batman experience than Arkham Asylum, City, and Knight already have. Now, as far as the entire franchise goes, Arkham City is the one that stands out to me because you have that combat that you had in Asylum, you have that same kind of plot, that same kind of character depth, and then that is all amplified, and of course, then in City you have this giant sandbox to explore with characters ranging from Penguin to Catwoman and everything in between. It is such a good game, and it's one of the ones that stands out in my mind for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 generation. Like, it is one of those kind of games that it's like, whenever I think about PS3, I think about Arkham City. So now, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you'll know that I'm kind of on the fence about remasters. It's pretty much one of those ones where you sit down and you think, do you really need to remaster this? Like Lego Harry Potter that we talked about, you don't really need it. Modern Warfare Remastered, kind of on the fence. With Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, I'm still kind of on the fence about because they look so good on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but they do look better on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One whenever you do look at the graphics comparisons. That being said, considering they put in all the DLC, considering it is a little bit polished up, I can't imagine a better deal for $50, and if you haven't played these games, you really should consider putting this one on your list of games to play for the upcoming months as winter does approach and we all kind of go into our holes and start playing all these incredible games that we haven't had the time to play over the summer. At least that's my situation. Now, last but not least, and I mean definitely not least, this is a massive release, probably one of the biggest of the year, which is Battlefield 1, coming to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, which is where I'll be playing it. Experience the dawn of all-out war in Battlefield 1. Fight your way through epic battles ranging from tight urban combat in a besieged French city to the heavily defended mountain forts in the Italian Alps or frantic combats in the deserts of Arabia. Discover a new world at war through an adventure-filled campaign or join in epic multiplayer battles with up to 64 players and adapt your tactics to earth-shattering environments and destruction. Fight as infantry or take control of amazing vehicles on land, air, and sea, from the tanks and bikes on the ground to biplanes and gigantic battleships, and adapt your gameplay to the most dynamic battles in Battlefield history. Chances are, if you've been on the internet over the course of the past 6 months, you have seen a good bit of Battlefield 1 if you have been looking for it. On top of that, there was a record-breaking beta, which I actually took part in and I absolutely adored, which is why this is one of the few games that I actually buy right off the bat. Like, I am going to be no-lifing this hard. I will be streaming it on twitch.tv/PrettyChillGuy311. If you want to go over there and hang out for a little while this weekend, cannot wait to get my hands on this thing. But like I said, a lot of people already had the chance to get their hands on this thing, and a lot of people are already impressed. But unlike Battlefield 4, this one is going to have quite a substantial single-player campaign with the new addition of War Stories. So with these war stories, it's pretty much a different take on the standard kind of campaign that you would get from a Call of Duty or a Battlefield or a Medal of Honor, where you're pretty much a cookie-cutter person that is included with a squad that happens to have some significant characters in it. That's pretty much what they would normally do. With war stories, you play in the shoes, you actually fill the role of somebody that has their own life. They have their own past, their history, and you're pretty much just an onlooker that's looking through the eyes of this particular person as they fight alongside people like the Red Baron and Lawrence of Arabia, which is a great concept, and it does add a good bit of depth to the universe where the standard kind of experience kind of lacks. Now, of course, that is changing the game for the single-player campaigns of Battlefield from here on out, as far as I can tell. I can't imagine that they could take any steps back, so hopefully it is going to work out well. But as far as multiplayer goes, you've got your standard Conquest, Rush, TDM, the stuff you would expect from Battlefield, with more to be added as DLC does come out. But the big launch change is a new edition called War Pigeons. That is a game mode called War Pigeons, which is pretty much where you find a messenger pigeon on the map and you capture it to call for artillery shots on the enemy team. That sounds pretty cool, because back in the day they couldn't just call in artillery. You actually had to, tie a little message to a pigeon's leg and then send it flying back to home base. So that's kind of building off of that idea, and I love the fact that they're just thriving in this World War I setting, and that is an example of them doing that perfectly. So right at launch, you are going to have 9 multiplayer maps to begin with, and then there is another map coming out in December by the name of Giant's Shadow, which is going to be a free update for Battlefield 1 players. Now, personally, I think this is a map they didn't have finished by the time the game was ready to be produced, so it's going to be added at a later date whenever they do get it wrapped up, which I suppose is fine. Putting a couple of finishing touches on a map is way better than putting a shitty map into the, original game. Now, as you would expect, there are going to be a ton of maps coming out over the course of the next couple of years. I'm sure there are going to be new kinds of variations on game modes for multiplayer, maybe even a couple of war stories included. That would be some cool stuff to see, but if you wanted to get in on all of that, there is a premium subscription, which isn't really a subscription, more so than a one-time purchase, kind of like a season pass. Of course, you can buy all these DLC packs separately. It just kind of depends on how you want to do it. So, there you guys have it. I hope you have enjoyed this edition of The Drop. If you did, drop me a like down below and share this video on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, whatever other things you might be using all these newfangled social networks. Share them on all of those. And if you happen to be new to the channel yourself, I want to give you a warm welcome and invite you to go over there and check out some of my other stuff. I upload new videos like 3 or 4 days a week, depending on the week. But as for right now, I'm going to go wait for Battlefield 1 to come out because I don't have anything better to do. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.